Hello Gemini, so I'm doing your weekly reading for October the 24th to the 31st. I'm going to take a look into what is going on in your situation, find out why it's happening, take a look at your blind spot, find out what it is that's working for you and how it is likely going to play out as well. Okay, so if you just give me a quick minute, I can sort out your deck for you. Right, so you've got the Justice card for your situation, and it says, to be fair, balance justice, considering your options, mutual benefit, and the law of cause and effect. So the law of cause and effect that is kicking in for your situation. Now, I feel with this one that they're saying that things are going to balance out for you, okay? That you will find a very good solution. Things are going to reach an equilibrium. Okay, sorry about my voice going there. Yeah, you are going to reach an equilibrium. It feels to me that something was not in balance for a while, and so over the next 7 days you're going to start to see evidence of, you know, things working out for you, things falling into place for you, things going the way that you expect them to, okay? Because there's a nice gentle energy to this that very much is describing, look, Gemini, try not to sweat the small stuff this week, because something's in motion here for you. Okay, this could also indicate legal contracts. Of course, it absolutely can. Signing something, making something official. Okay, I was going to say making something legal, like legalizing something. I mean, it could be. I don't know. Action. So your strongest overall message is to take action, energizing effort, willingness to work. Now is a time for aggressive forward movement, thoughts and actions that are still needing to be taken. Okay, so one of these horses represents the work that you've already done, which would be the one in front, and the horse behind represents the work that you have yet to do. Okay, so this is that energetic burst this week that you have, this burst of inspiration, this burst of I can do this. You dig in deep into resources that you never even realized that you had with this action card. Okay, it's very, very quick energy. Really quick energy. So what's going to serve you really well, Gemini, is for you to think quickly and act quickly on your feet. Okay, it can also indicate that there is hard work ahead, but it's not going to be that dragging, low vibe, oh my fucking god, I really don't want to do this type work. Okay, it's more of the work of, right, you know, let's get this done. What are we waiting for? Okay, it's more of that energy, and not so much of the I really don't want to do this, I can't be bothered. You will find this week, Gemini, that your inspiration, it's really going to come in thick and fast. You taking action on what it is that inspires you and being fueled by your own energy, because that's really what this action energy is all about, is you being fueled by your own energy, your own imagination. Okay, so the things that you're wanting to do, you'll find that you do have the energy to do those things. So yeah, it's a really nice turnaround to the month, I would say. Even though this is a weekly read, I feel like this kind of energy is going to progress really very deeply into the month of November. Okay, right, so can we take a closer look at this, to be fair, for Gemini, please? Oh, okay. That was really heavy, very heavy energy, very abrupt, It's almost as if it's going, and then suddenly you find yourself facing this situation and you don't know what to do about it. The Tower coming out squiffy. That's being blindsided. Okay, that's an unexpected event right around the corner. Try not to worry too much about it though. It's accidental energies with the Tower coming out squiffy. Okay. We'll find out more about that. I'm hoping that these cards are going to answer it, and they're all reversed. Eight of Pentacles reversed, Five of Wands, the Nine of Wands, Page of Cups, Temperance, and the Eight of Cups. And they're all reversed. Gemini, I'm afraid to say, if you've been avoiding anybody recently, then the chances are quite high this week that you're accidentally going to bump into them. And it could well be a person that you've been specifically, deliberately trying to avoid, okay? So that's where that heaviness and that, like, resentment almost type energy came from. And then you being told about an accident or an accidental event, because everything's going well here, everything's going really good, very hopeful and uplifting, most definitely, and then accidentally you bump into someone that you don't particularly want to see, and it kind of puts a downer on everything, right? Now, I don't know if this is somebody that you used to work with, because you do have the Eight of Pentacles here, and it is in the reverse. There was definitely a lot of drama between you two, a lot of disagreements, a lot of clashing of the egos, clashing of the minds, clashing of ideas, never able to rub along well with this individual, and you accidentally bumping into them when you're not expecting it. Okay, feels a little bit like a violation here with the Nine of Wands reversed and the Page of Cups reversed. It's almost as if you physically bump into someone, and while you're still looking down, you're like, oh my God, I'm sorry. And then when you look up, you realize who the fuck it is that you've just bumped into. And then it's like your heart sinks, Page of Cups reverse. Like you don't want to see him. Do you know what I mean? Like, as a preference, you would prefer not to acknowledge this person's existence, because it legitimately is an individual that you really just don't fucking like. Like, you're going to have your own reasons why you don't like them. There's definitely a history there with the Eight of Pentacles reversed. Okay, there's absolutely a history there. And an unstable one at that, with the Five of Wands being reversed. Not great. And it is likely going to put a downer on your mood pretty much for the next couple of weeks, I feel. So as long as you're aware of that, then you're going to be, should we just say, paying a lot more attention when you're out and about, so that doesn't happen in the first place. Because ultimately that's why we do tarot. That is why we do tarot, is a temperature check. It isn't set in stone. You're not stuck to the outcome that comes out in the cards, okay? You can decide what you're going to lean into and what you'd much rather avoid. And you can take that action, okay? But you are definitely being warned about this. So it is avoidable. Yes, accidental or an accident, but also avoidable, completely avoidable. That's why your Five of Wands is reversed. It's an avoidable situation. Okay, it just requires for you to pay a little bit more attention. Now, this could also be about legalities as well, because we are still clarifying this to be fair energy. So obviously, if you're signing anything legal this week, be super careful. Make sure that you get it looked over by an independent professional. Okay. Watch out for any sort of loopholes, any backtracking, or just contracts that are really difficult for you to get out of. basically. Just watch out for a lack of foresight, I want to say, which is really unusual to be coming out in your energy, Gemini, because usually you're pretty much on the fucking ball, like all of the time. But with everything else that's going on for you, you might not be thinking about that. You might not be focused on that, right? So you're not necessarily going to be quite on the ball this week as what you normally are. Okay, so that's why it's coming out in your reading, because Spirit's like, Gemini, look out for this. Look out for this, because this is very likely to happen. And obviously, if you don't want it to happen, then you can avoid it. You just need to pay attention. Okay, you've got Temperance reversed with the Eight of Cups reversed. Now, Temperance reversed can indicate unprofessionalism. Somebody being unprofessional, and again, especially with that Eight of Pentacles reversed, you losing your temper with an individual who is not being professional at all. That's like someone losing their temper, they're losing patience, they're getting antsy, and they're looking for some kind of quick, fast, almost instant results, and it's just not going to happen. So again, take that message as it resonates. Okay, Gemini, that could be you, that could be someone else that you're dealing with. Patience is most definitely going to be a virtue this week in basically everything that you do. And the same goes for everyone who is dealing with you this week. They also are going to need to demonstrate a lot of thoughtfulness and a lot of patience. Eight of Cups reversed, that can indicate somebody trying to backtrack, backpedal, do a U-turn. Okay, again, I hope that that's not you. Realizing you weren't paying attention on something specific that you were supposed to be doing, and then before you know it, you've created a situation for yourself, quite possibly for others as well, that is quite unnecessary and miserable, and then trying to backpedal. I'm hoping that that's not you. It could be someone else doing that around you, and then you having to contend with that particular fallout of someone else fucking up, of someone else making mistakes purely through them not paying attention. Okay, so just try and make sure that it's not you that's doing that. That's all coming out for your situation. That's quite a lot. That's quite a lot already. Okay, so why is this happening between worlds? Yeah. So of course there is a very real risk that you are going to be distracted a bit this week, Gemini, because you are in between worlds. So it's literally leaving your old life and stepping into your new life and your new way of being. Okay, it's closing. It's in the process of closing out one old cycle, but you haven't completely closed it out yet. So this week you do need to focus on closing off any loose ends. Okay, this is definitely going to be a focus on loose ends rather than starting brand new things. Okay, and to tie up any loose ends reasonably quickly, with action being your strongest overall message. This one says transitions, not being quite out of one situation and yet fully engaged in another, temporary blindness and no man's land. So it's a little bit directionless, and this time is asking for you to have faith. And I hate to say the cliche, but it is about trusting the process, not so much being focused on the end result at this time. Okay, so Gemini, I feel like this week your focus is going to be on I want to say slowing down and processing everything, but also being decisive. Okay, so it's striking that balance between this is what I need to do quickly, this thing over here, I need to pay a little bit more attention to this thing that I'm doing over here because it requires more of my attention, and I cannot be distracted with this thing because it's so important. Or do you know what I mean? It's knowing that there is a time and a place for everything, basically. So let's take a closer look at this between worlds. Can you tell us more? Thank you. The Devil. Yeah, there's unhealthy energies. It can be unhealthy due to a whole multitude of different reasons, right? I need to get the exact meaning of this one for your particular reading, Gemini, so that I know what it is that you're dealing with, and so that I understand fully why this is playing out this way this week. Because like I said, the devil can be a whole multitude of different things. The Page of Pentacles. Okay. So it's more to do with physical life, physical world, your money, finances, resources, stuff like that. So this devil energy could well be indicating for some of you guys about the dangers of being a workaholic, and about the dangers of focusing too much on either what you have or what you don't have, and being extremely worried about that to the point where you're becoming a workaholic, or some of you guys literally are full-blown workaholics and don't know when to put the chisel down for 5 minutes, so to speak. Okay. So yeah, I definitely do feel that for you guys it's more emphasis on slowing down with that rather than speeding up. Okay, let's clarify this action. We're gonna ask exactly what it is that Spirit's getting at here with what they're wanting for you to focus on and what they're wanting for you to take action on over and above being a workaholic. Okay, what's this action for Gemini? What is it? The Ten of Cups. Yeah, more on love, home, family, more on cultivating peace. That's inner peace and external peace. Okay, it's that sense of belonging, it's domestic joy, it's love, it's support. It's literally one of your apex cards. So it's indicating that your priorities right now, Gemini, needs to be on home, friends, family, love, support, compassion, and all of those things for yourself too. That your focus should be on that inner fulfillment, that inner peace, okay, over and above being a workaholic. And I'm really, really sorry if it sounds like I'm lecturing you or anything. I genuinely don't mean to be, okay? I cannot choose what messages come out of the reading. It literally, with tarot, it is what it is. I don't get to pick and choose the messages, okay? The energy's saying, look, this is happening because you're working too hard. You've been working yourself into the ground, possibly working yourself into exhaustion, not really leaving much time left for yourself, for your friends, family, loved ones, not leaving much time left for, you know, the enjoyable things in life. There's one thing having nice things in life, but then it's quite another to partake in enjoyable things in life. So they're wanting for you to pay more attention to that instead. Okay, so that's why you're being forced to slow down and to really sort of pay attention to what it is that you're doing. What's going on in your blind spot? Yeah, all that glitters. So blind spot, something is not what it seems, or someone is not what they seem. Again, take it as it resonates, because you're all dealing with different people and different circumstances. Yeah. Literally says, fool's gold. Someone is wearing a mask or is trying to be something that they're not, embellishing of the truth or of themselves. Yeah. So in your blind spot, Gemini, you have to be aware of any sort of deceit. Now, here's the thing, going by the context of your reading, it could also be you lying to yourself as well. So take it as it resonates, right? If you are lying to yourself and saying, no, I'm not a workaholic, I right, and then start racking off all these excuses, yeah, pay attention to that. Make sure that you're not lying to yourself. So let's find out more about all that glitters. Something isn't, and it feels like something rather than someone. Something is not all that it cracks up to be. Okay, so again, with your first message coming out with like contracts and shit, and be careful what it is that you're signing. I kind of feel here, Gemini, that somebody's trying to pull a fast one on you, and it could be to do with your income, your property ownership, things like that. Okay. Someone is possibly trying to sell you like a duff car, or if you're buying a house, especially if you're in the UK, it could be riddled with like knotweed or something nasty, right? Just with this coming out with the contracts, it means that someone's trying to hide something. And it's, if that is a legal situation, you've got to really watch out for that, okay? Really watch out for that, because it's sleazy energy. And again, especially with the devil making an appearance for why this is happening, it's kind of like only fools rush in, okay? Only fools rush in. It could literally be anything. Like, honestly, if you're buying land, there's something horrifically wrong with the land. Either it's contaminated or some weird ass sinkholes going on. If it's a car, like dodgy salesman, need I say more, right? Just be really, really thorough. You need to be really thorough this week with everything, Gemini. Okay, can you tell us about all that glitters? This fool's gold for Gemini's blind spot. Yeah, the sun, it's like when the sun's rays, and you've got sun's rays in here as well, right? When the sun's rays hit this gold, it's really difficult, if not impossible, to tell that that gold is fake, because the reflection can be blinding, okay? So this is, honestly, Gemini, this is someone or something is trying to big themselves up, or they're trying to make a situation, make it feel like it was your idea, right? It's really, really icky, really icky. Okay, can you tell us more about this fool's gold and the sun? Thank you for Gemini. Oh, that's weird. The Magician, it did come out initially in the reverse, and then it spun in, it came out initially in the upright, and then it spun into the reverse. There is manipulation that's going on in your blind spot, Gemini. Okay, so somebody is trying to manipulate you. It's in your blind spot. They're trying to blind you. Okay, it could be they're trying to be overly flattering, right? Like there's a whole multitude of different ways that could manifest in your physical reality, okay? Like manipulation's manipulation. And if you're in a rush and you're trying to get something done quickly, you might not recognize the manipulation for what it is. It's someone's trying to take you for a fool, okay? Let's just get to the bottom line of this. Somebody is trying to take you for a fool. They're trying to take you for a mug. And I'm afraid to say that this week they got the wrong Gemini. They got the wrong Gemini. Definitely. Right, so it's working for you. Yeah, round and around. Okay. Something comes back round again, or someone. It's very likely going to be this individual that you accidentally run into and like literally accidentally bump into. Okay. I also want to say to some, not all, be on the lookout for any crash for cash scams this week as well. Okay. If you are a driver, just make sure that you've got like a dash cam and shit. Make sure it's all working. Okay. I don't know why, but I do need to get that out there, right? Okay, round and round. Cycles that you're being challenged to break. Revisiting a pattern, so revisiting an old pattern, but from a new perspective, and freeing yourself from old cycles. Yeah. Yeah, so let's take a deeper dive into that one. What's this round and round message for Gemini? For what is working for them. So, yeah, again, a repeating message basically. You have to focus on tying off any and all loose ends this week. Okay. Any habits that you're feeling challenged to break. Okay. It's time for you to form new habits, healthy ones. Now, you had a couple of cards that did flip over there, but they disappeared back into the deck. Oh man, I don't like it when the deck does that, because it's so jarring. It's so confusing. Oh man, where did their cards go? There it is, the Seven of Cups, the card of illusions, the card of many, many choices. And it refused to reveal itself properly, which is an interesting metaphor. Something is refusing to reveal itself fully, wholly, and completely. Obviously, fool's gold, right? It's like it's trying to disguise itself as something else. But this is the pattern that you're being challenged to break this week, Gemini. Okay. Right. Let me see if I can get further information on that. What is this pattern that Gemini is being challenged to break? The King of Wands. It might well be to do with your ambitions here, Gemini. Now, it's fantastic to have ambition. Encouraged, even. So what they're saying with this one is for you to be in control of your ambitions rather than your ambitions controlling you. Because you know how sometimes that can get out of hand quite quickly? That's what they're just drawing your attention to. Okay. There's a pattern here to do with that you're being encouraged to break. Because it's hurting you. It's harming you. It's tied in with being a workaholic. Okay. So how this is likely going to play out. Oh, yeah, they're also saying here what's going to work for you. Just to backtrack ever so slightly, Gemini. Focus fire one thing at a time this week instead of trying to take on multiple things all at the same time. Because if you try and do lots of things at the same time this week, you're going to feel yourself getting overwhelmed really, really quickly. Okay. So again, that's another habit that you're being challenged to break, is where you constantly feel like you have to be doing something, but it's lots of somethings at the same time. Okay. Co-create. So how it's likely going to play out. Creativity, art, inspiring, fruition, manifestation, viewing life as an art and knowing how to create it, and co-creating with the universe. Okay. It's successful manifestation. It's successful solutions to problems. It's basically saying that you are going to be far more productive as long as you use your time wisely. Okay. Co-creating with the universe. The universe is meeting you halfway. Yeah, the Seven of Pentacles. Harvest time. Harvest time. That's also patience, dedication, and hard work. What else? I feel like you've got extra finances coming in here, Gemini. Can you tell us more about this energy, of how it's likely going to play out for Gemini, please? Thank you. That's squiffy. The Queen of Cups. And it's coming out squiffy. That's about your satisfaction levels. So, even though even though you're getting this harvest coming in, you're getting levels of success as a combination of your own hard work and the universe meeting you halfway, there's still going to be a feeling of dissatisfaction. Okay. Dissatisfaction. With the Queen of Cups coming out squiffy. So where is that dissatisfaction coming from? Because there's a message here where someone's going, it's just not enough. Can you tell us more about this? Thank you. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. There's things moving quickly, but you can't move quickly, Gemini. The Tower. And then these two coming out squiffy, 9 of Pentacles and the King of Cups. So there's a feeling of dissatisfaction at a smaller harvest than what you wanted, and things moving slower than what you wanted, but you can't go quickly. Because if you go quickly, you're going to get the Tower. And quite possibly incur losses as well. With the 9 of Pentacles coming out sideways with the King of Cups. And then you being really unhappy. Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Gemini, why do I get the impression that someone else is trying to force you into making a rushed decision? Eight of Wands, King of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands with the Two of Pentacles. Yeah. It's like you're trying to reach a milestone before the milestone's ready to reach you, if that makes sense, because you have to meet it in the middle. Slow energy. Slow down. Your message has been consistent all the way through this, Gemini. You've got to slow down. You've got to slow down, because some of you guys are really stressing yourselves out here. And do you know what I mean? It's like that sort of energy just piles on the stress even more. Slow, steady progress, slow, steady growth, consistent growth. That's what you're aiming for. Well, that's what you want to be aiming for. Okay. Right, let's get you a healing message. You have a healing message for Gemini, please. Oh. Okay. Moon memories and the past. It's really interesting because a couple of times you had messages about past. Something coming back round again. Is this like an old habit? An old habit that you used to have? That you feel is creeping back on you again? Moon memories. 82. Okay. Whatever you're going through now is being strongly influenced by past memories. Maybe it has to do with childhood programming. For example, if you were told that you weren't good enough, but you are good enough, or that there wasn't enough money to go around when there is, such things from our past influence our present and therefore our future. Drawing this card suggests that you need to be really honest about which situation from your past is negatively influencing your present, and then you need to clear it Acknowledging that something challenging from your past is keeping you back from moving forward is the first step. See the past for what it is. It's something that happened, that has shaped you, and that it can be a springboard from which you can move forward. Do some self-development to get to the answer to your question. What in your past is negatively impacting you now? Clear that, and everything else will fall into place. When dark memories come, replace them with happier ones to shift your focus and to raise your frequency very quickly. Additional meanings for this card: move through the fear. Therapy could be useful. Picture your happy place when feeling stressed. Ditch negative beliefs about yourself. You can't go back. And then it says, the moon seems to know our past, present and future. Representing our emotions in astrology, she cherishes and safeguards our dearest memories. Yeah, it's like habits of old that have stemmed from some sort of early childhood programming here. Especially for those who are workaholics, like 9 times out of 10, if you dig deeper, you will find that you're a workaholic these days because when you were little, you were constantly called useless and lazy and this, that and the next. Or, you know, it was drummed into you that your worth and your value was inherently based on how much you could do, how much you could provide, how much you were financially worth, right? And it's all bullshit. It's all false teachings. And it's been making you feel deeply, deeply dissatisfied with what you have accomplished in life and what you do have in life, because then there's this thought of, oh yeah, but it's never enough. I need more. I need to do more. I need to be more. It's always more, 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 right? So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on this week. Love has finally fucking arrived. Yeah. Of course it has. The Ten of Cups was in the upright position. Of course it was. Let's take action more on love. Ask yourself, is it worth the fucking effort? And wealth is on its way to you, you lucky fucker. Yeah, you listen, you don't have to run yourself into the ground the way that you have been, okay? Because it is coming in. It's coming in slowly, but it is coming in, okay? Interesting reading. I just genuinely hope that read has been helpful. For personal readings with me, my website is phoenixkeiatarot.com. The link for that is in my description box below. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.